News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
We've got smoke in the valley again. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Tuesday, August 25th, 2015. Right now we have smoke, dense smoke in the Missoula area. Air quality, we'll tell you about air quality in a moment. Right now we have 50 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast sponsored by Missoula Nissan Hyundai. Drive what you want affordably. Stop by Missoula Nissan Hyundai today. Find out how leasing may be your best deal on a new car located on Brooks, next to Southgate Mall. Our top story this morning, of course, is Missoula's air quality. Wildfire smoke began, according to Sarah Cofield with the Missoula City County Health Department. Wildfire smoke began pouring into the Missoula Valley about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And Health Department specialist, air quality specialist Sarah Cofield made the call at about 6 that air quality throughout Missoula County was unhealthy, including Seeley Lake and Frenchtown. She said very unhealthy conditions may be declared later today. Now, with that in mind, here are some advisories. When air is unhealthy, people with respiratory problems, children, and the elderly should limit their exposure. However, when air quality is very unhealthy, those same groups should avoid outdoor activity altogether. Cofield said there may be a brief reprieve for the weekend. We'll see. The Thompson Divide Complex fire is burning dangerously close to Essex up by Glacier National Park. Citizens there have been preparing for a possible evacuation for about a week now. Fire Information Officer Jonathan Moore said residents are currently at the set stage of the Ready, Set, Go evacuation plan.
But we do have the residents of Essex and the surrounding area in a state of preparedness so that if we do have to give them the go order, they'll be swift to move out. There's about 150 structures that are residents in the area, and about another 50 structures that are either businesses or outbuildings.
The fire had forced the closure of U.S. Highway 2. However, Moore says as of yesterday, cars were able to pass through by following pilot cars, but there is a 10 to 15 minute wait.
Highway 2 was closed for about a 24-hour period as the fire was getting closer to it. Traffic was pulling over to view the fire, and fire personnel were coming in and out of the highway at various points. It became a safety issue for the firefighters and for the public.
Senators John Tester and Steve Daines were both checking out that fire yesterday. About 20 residents were allowed to return home after evacuation orders were lifted for the Sucker Creek fire near Lincoln. Fire Information Officer Margaret Hangen explains.
We lifted the evacuation in the Landers Fork area. We wanted to give the residents time to get in and without any major fanfare. It has been lifted. The Alice Creek area was actually lifted a few days ago. So that, in fact, was the last evacuation.
The Sucker Creek fire is almost 2,800 acres and is burning toward an old fire scar left back in 2003.
For firefighter safety reasons, that burn area is full of what we call snags, and which is extremely dangerous for firefighters to work in. So the fire is, in fact, continuing in that area towards the north into the Snow Tellin original burn area. So there's a lot of dead and down material on the ground that is burning. There's
still some road closures in the area, but because the new burn area has already been ravaged by fire, Hangen says they expect the fire to be burning very slowly. An Idaho-based company that makes most of the retardant used on wildfires has stopped making the substance in its traditional rusty red, opting instead for a hot pink color. Is it all about cancer awareness? No. The Missoulian reports that Phos-Chek representative Lou Gildemeister says pilots report that pink clouds have better visibility. Air tankers draw lines of retardant around the perimeter of a fire, but if they can't see where the substance lands, they could leave gaps. Gildemeister says the pink shows up much better than red in the sun's glare. It also shows up well on different types of vegetation, including rusty-looking trees killed by beetles in the northern Rocky Mountains. Fire retardant is essentially colored fertilizer. It doesn't extinguish the fire, but it does slow a wildfire's spread by making it more difficult to ignite new fuel. Around 11 o'clock Saturday night, Missoula police pulled over Tristan Kammerer at the intersection of Mount and Russell after he failed to yield and almost caused a wreck. Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh says Kammerer committed more crimes after he was pulled over.
During the course of the time that the officer was writing out citations for the young male driver, the driver decided to put the car in gear and leave the area of the stop at a high rate of speed. The vehicle traveled northbound, eventually getting on the interstate and then turning east when the officer discontinued his pursuit.
Police didn't have to wait long for Kammerer to turn himself in yesterday.
Since then, that young driver has turned himself in this morning. He has appeared in court, and he has been issued citations ranging from failure to yield, no insurance, no registration, suspended DL. The initial reasons for the stop, as well as reckless eluding and obstructing a peace officer during an investigation.
According to Welsh, Kammerer was going at such a high rate of speed, the pursuing officer stopped the chase due to safety issues. Police were confident they could locate Kammerer, though, because he sped off, leaving his driver's license with the officer. Works every time. 29-year-old Jeremiah Bird is wanted by the U.S. Marshal's Office. He's considered to be armed. Public Information Officer with the County Sheriff's Office, Brenda Bassett, has more.
The U.S. Marshal Service and local law enforcement are looking for a gentleman out of Lake County. His name is Jeremiah Bird. He's 29 years old. He's wanted on several warrants, but he's also wanted for a recent burglary here in Missoula County.
Bassett advises anyone who spots the suspect to contact 911.
We're just asking if anyone sees him to, of course, never approach him. They're thinking that he may be armed, so just call 911 if you do see him. He is about 5'10". He weighs about 205 pounds. He has brown eyes and black hair.
A photo of the suspect is available on our website at newstalkkgvo.com. And U.S. officials and the governors of coal-rich western states are meeting with Chinese energy officials in a bid to advance so-called clean coal technologies that have struggled to gain traction. Today's conference, at Billings, takes place near one of the largest coal reserves in the world, the Powder River Basin of Montana and Wyoming. It comes as the industry has suffered a beating in recent months. Mining companies going bankrupt, proposals to hike coal royalties and lease payments, and cheap natural gas squeezing out demand for coal. Those woes are in addition to concerns over coal's role in climate change. Clean coal technologies purport to capture the greenhouse gases that contribute to global warming. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Air quality remains a concern today as smoke remains trapped in the Missoula Valley. Visibility will be reduced at times. Highs will warm into the upper 80s. Tonight will drop back into the low 50s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.